Hi, I'm Liam Grant and I'm going to be doing a review of TOKAY Ultimate Cleats for Sky magazine. So we'll start off talking about the style. I ordered the grey cleats, which I think might have been white, but they definitely are grey and kind of a cinder block grey. I do like the continuity with the colours here. We have, as you see in the bottom of the cleat, the kind of colour fade, which is the same as the logos, and also appears on the mesh bit here in the top as well. So it does look quite good, the cleat, and you got to look good to play good. I ordered the low cut cleat. I think there's a mid cut one available, which might be a bit of a misnomer. From what I can tell, the mid cut has an internal sock inside it which rises a bit higher, and the main purpose for that seems to be to keep pellets out from artificial turf, which is something that annoys me, so I think that would be a good thing to try out. But I think some people might be confused into thinking that the boot is bigger on the ankles than it is, because it's really just more of an internal sock. So that's something I'd maybe change in how TOKAY communicate that. Talk about the fitting. I ordered a size 10.5 UK, and they fitted perfectly, and that's usually what I'd wear. Sometimes it's hard to find 10.5, so that worked really well. I was looking online, a lot of people were saying that what they got was too tight, too tightly fitting, so I'd maybe be careful ordering. If you're stuck between two sizes, maybe go a little bit bigger. Performance of the cleat. I actually really enjoyed playing Ultimate in these. First thing I noticed was how warm they were. So you have this upper mesh pillow thing, I'm not sure what you call it, but it's quite thick, and internally there's quite a lot of this kind of cushiony mesh which seems to keep your foot really warm. And I was wearing them in March in Ireland, which is quite cold, and I noticed how warm my feet were, so possibly even too warm if you're playing in very, very, very hot conditions. But I quite like having warm feet. Yeah, the cleat pattern is quite good. I often find I end up wearing soccer cleats because that's really all that's available here. I have worn lacrosse cleats once before and really liked them. You have that toe cleat you wouldn't really see in the soccer cleats. And going just on how it felt alone, the traction felt really, really good, felt really good turning, had a lot of grip on the toes, while still having a bit of movement there. Mostly only worn in artificial turf so far, so see how they go in like heavy mud. I'm not so sure, but I've really liked them so far. Yeah, they're quite lightweight. Maybe not the lightest cleats I've had. I think those Nike Mercurials I had have been a little bit lighter, but not very durable. Those lacrosse cleats I've had before have been way, way heavier than this, so this is quite nice. I usually go for a light cleat, and that's why I went for the lower cut, because I just want the least amount of material on my foot. But yeah, no, these are quite light, and it feels quite good wearing them. Durability, which is probably the most important thing for cleats. As far as I'm concerned, I explode so many of them by just pushing out, disconnecting the kind of sole from the main part of the boot. That's what usually happens to me, and I've done it to every single boot, and I'll do it to these, no doubt. But how long is the real question. And usually if I get one season out of a pair of cleats, I'm doing well. So we'll see if I can get 10, 15 tournaments out of these. But so far so good, and I'll try and update you on how this goes on. But I've heard all good things about the durability and the explodability, if you will. I think they're probably the best cleats I've ever owned. I was thinking about this and I can't think of any I've loved more. Notably, they're probably the most expensive ones I've ever owned as well. I rarely pay more than 60, 50 quid for a pair of cleats, and these are coming in, I think, around 118 euros if I'm not mistaken. And that's a lot, but if they live up to what they say in durability, I think it's worth it. And I often spend money on footwear outside of Ultimate, so I think it's probably worth investing money into your footwear, and it makes a difference while you're playing. So especially for the high level players, I think it's worth going that extra mile. Yeah, so I've really enjoyed them so far. I look forward to playing more tournaments in them. Thanks very much to TOKAY and Sky for giving me the opportunity to do this, and go out there and buy them. Thanks.